You can find and organize equivalent ratios in a ratio table by using repeated addition or multiplication, which is really just the same thing. Now, just to remind you, an equivalent ratio are two ratios that can be multiplied to get the same answer. So if you have 1 to 3 and you have, let's say, 4 to 12, you multiply each of these by the same 4 to get your equivalent ratio. Just like if you had an equivalent fraction, say 1/2, you multiply each side by 2, our equivalent fraction would be 2 to 4, or 2 over 4. So let's look at this table here. Triangles and sides. For every triangle, there's 3 sides, and we know that to be true. We need to find the missing values in this ratio table and then write our equivalent ratios. So let's use different color. All right, so because the original ratio is 1 triangle to 3 sides, you can repeatedly add 1 to the first row and 3 to the second row. So if we do this, we're going to add 1, we're going to add 1, and we're going to add 1. Now down here, because it's 1 to 3, we're going to add 3 to each cell. So in the end, we'll have 3 plus 3, which is 6, plus 3, which is 9, plus 3, which is 12. Now we need to write our equivalent ratios. Our equivalent ratios are 1 to 3, 2 to 6, 3 to 9, and 4 to 12. Let's look at toads and frogs. You can also use multiplication to find these missing values. We're not going to want to add 1 to get from 4 to 20 16 times, so we can just multiply. So what do we need to multiply to get from 4 to 20? We need to multiply by 5. Now down here we're going to have a different number because we need to multiply by 5 as well. So times it by 5, 6 times 5 is 30. Now remember, we multiplied these by the same number because when we looked back at our equivalent fractions or ratios, we needed to multiply each of those by the same number. So that's how this differs from adding. Let's do another one. So from 30 to 90, what do we need to multiply to get to 90? Well, 90 divided by 30 is 3. So we're going to multiply by 3. Because we multiplied these by 3, we also need to multiply these by 3. So 20 times 3 is 60. So 60 is our missing number. Now from 90 to 180, we need to multiply by 2, which means we need to also multiply our frogs by 2. And 60 times 2 is 120. This means that our equivalent ratios are 4 to 6, 20 to 30, 60 to 90, and 120 to 180. So in conclusion, you can generate a ratio table by using subtraction, division, addition, multiplication. Make sure that you add or subtract in equivalent ratios, and when you multiply and divide each quantity in the ratio, it needs to be multiplied or divided by the same number.